Who came up the first with the name of Twitch?
I did. It was 2 days before launch. Hey, I'm Emmett, co-founder and CEO of Twitch, and today I'm going to tell you the crazy story of Twitch. Justin and I grew up together in Seattle, and we went to Yale together. We started our first company together in Y Combinator in Boston. Our first startup was Kiko Calendar, which is basically like Google Calendar. And I remember the moment when Google Calendar came out, and we were just like, well, I guess we're screwed. And so we sold Kiko on eBay, $250,000, $250,000, which felt like a lot of money at the time. End of the day, you add it all up, we made the equivalent of $60,000 that first year each. I think probably partly made it feel safe to then go start the next company. So Justin and I were driving around Boston. One of us said, I think I said, our conversation is really interesting. Like we should publish these. And Justin was like, yeah, I should publish all of my conversations. I should just record all of my conversations 24/7, record them. Well, if we're gonna record them 24/7, why don't we just make it live? Oh, if we're gonna make it live, why don't we just record all of the audio and video and record all that and just stream that live? And so was the idea for Justin TV born. But the idea kind of kept nagging at us, and we kept talking about it. And we were at a YC dinner, and we were talking to Chuck Foreman, who's the founder of OMG Pop. I remember him very clearly telling us, "You're so full of shit, you're never gonna do that." But I think part of us were like, no, we'll totally do it. We'll do this stupid stunt just to show you. Justin was the one who volunteered to put his life in the internet 24/7, because Justin's always wanted to be famous. I never really wanted to be that much in the public eye. That sounded horrible to me. And we go to pitch Paul about it, Paul Graham. Paul saw actually oh, and you're not just gonna do this for you. Once you build the technology, you're gonna let anyone do a show. And we were like, yes, that's exactly right. We're gonna have all these people doing live casting. I remember the other thing, Robert Morris was there too. He's one of the other founding partners of Y Combinator, was there with Paul. And he told us, I am happy to fund this just to watch you make fools of yourselves. And we were like, yes, great. We would like that check, please. We got the money. We got Michael to join us as a co-founder, Michael Seibel, who was our friend at Yale. We drove out together from New York, where we picked up Michael, and we drove out to San Francisco. That's where the VCs were, that's where the money was. And then we realized we actually needed to build this mobile camera thing for Justin to carry around. And we had no idea how to go do that ourselves. So we emailed the MIT hackers mailing list, and we got Kyle to respond to us. Kyle thought we were established entrepreneurs, at least we kind of knew what we were doing. And we thought he was a proficient engineer who had built stuff before. And both of us were kind of over optimistic about the experience of the other parties. The first 3 months, we did not work very hard. The first 3 months of Justin TV, we'd wake up at 10, and Steve would come by with a 6-pack, and we'd start playing Guitar Hero, and Michael would cook dinner, and then we'd go out and we'd go out drinking in San Francisco, and then we'd repeat. And we'd get 4 hours of work done a day. And then we got the real push from, I think it was Paul Buchheit, you guys have to actually launch. You have to launch the product. And we were like, okay, that's probably true. 2 years of just working 24/7, just wake up, work, go to sleep. We turned on Justin TV at 9 a.m. and everything immediately fell over and people started watching us.
That's right, 24/7, all day, every day from this camera.
So my co-founder, Justin Kahn, carried a camera around 24/7 on his head. And our slogan was 24/7, even in the bathroom.
In the bathroom, I kind of put the camera up. The show is meant to be PG-13, at most rated R.
You could always check in and see what was going on in Justin's life. When he was sleeping, when he was whatever he was doing. It was a huge stunt, right? It was very newsworthy because it was such a ridiculous thing to do. And so Justin went on Good Morning America and all these other, sort of daytime talk show things.
Everybody's talking about the voyeuristic experience of the year, and he's with us here on CNET Live.
Thanks for having me, Tom.
He got covered by a lot of the press. We got this huge pulse of traffic. I remember we got 150,000 people to watch the first month, and no one stuck around because it wasn't interesting to watch. And then we were like, okay, well, we can't make interesting content.Maybe other people can. That was the moment to open the platform up. October of 2007, we launched Justin TV so that anybody could start streaming. That was a pretty big success in the sense that at the time, we started getting a lot of people to come watch, come stream. Video quality wasn't super good. You couldn't make any money, but it worked. And we started growing and growing, and we started getting pirated sports matches getting streamed and then taken down by copyright holders. And then we kind of hit this point where we were gonna run out of money, and it was 2008 and the financial crisis happened. We started to focus on figuring out how to drive revenue and how to cut costs and how to make it a sustainable business, because we didn't think we'd be able to, keep going otherwise. We were trying to figure out what to do next, and StarCraft 2 beta had come out.
It's about time.
And we'd throw this event, Startup Craft, We had people streaming StarCraft on Justin TV.
Hello everyone, this is H to the Husky here. I'm going to be casting a 1 versus 1.
I love StarCraft. I love StarCraft growing up. It's like my favorite video game. And it was the first time that as a viewer, I really fell in love with my own product. I was like, this is great. I really like watching people stream StarCraft 2. I get it. I get why this is fun. And I know what I could do to make it better. I see what's missing that I personally want. We should focus on gaming.
The prophecy is true.
I led the Justin TV gaming initiative. It wasn't Twitch yet, it was Justin TV gaming. It was growing 30% a month once we started focusing on it. And then in June 8th, 2011, almost exactly, a little more than 10 years ago, we just had our 10th anniversary, we launched Twitch.
Who came up the first with the name of Twitch?
I did. We'd been trying to come up with a name for the product for a long time. We didn't have one. It was 2 days before launch. We wrote up the press release. We sent it to all the reporters with blanks in for the name of the company. And we told them that we didn't want our name to leak. We tell them the name 2 hours before the embargo was up. And that was a lie. We just didn't have a name. And I spent the next 48 hours feverishly trying to come up with a name and buy a domain name, which we did. I got it. I bought it. We quickly put it through the whole product. Jacob made the brand in 2 hours, the logo, and we launched with Twitch. About a year in, Jacob was like, we have to update the logo. I'm like, okay, you're right. I gave you 2 hours to do it the first time. And then the purple thing was selected because we did a color chart of everyone in video and everyone in gaming, like a color wheel. And we placed everyone's logos on the color wheel. And there was this slice that was just totally empty. No one was in purple. And I was like, right, we're gonna be purple. We wanna be different. And we wanna stand out. I remember going to the first E3 and you could spot a Twitch person across the hall at E3 because we were the only purple thing at E3. We launched mid-rolls. So you put a button in, you could press a button to run ads. And that was a huge innovation. And at the time, people were really excited about it because it was the only way to make money. And then maybe 6 months in, we launched subscriptions, which turned out to be actually the most important money-making thing for streamers. I do buy subs on occasion.
Sub!
Twitch esports has become a smaller part of Twitch over time, but in the beginning, it was that was what we were doing. So we just went to all these esports events. It was this is esports a real thing. And we're the TV for esports.
Et à très bientôt. Sur Twitch.
What was the weirdest thing you ever saw on Twitch?
Sushi Dragon. It's just that. What? What is going on? I think politics coming to Twitch was inevitable. It makes me in some ways a little sad because politics is it's so divisive.
Alors comment on prononce? Link ou Link? Tu prononces comment, Antoine? Link? Bon, tu t'expliqueras avec lui si ça se prononce Link.
What I like about Twitch is it's a community. There's sort of a sense of unity and connection, and inevitably politics is very divisive. But I do have a little bit of sadness about the division, the anger, the outrage it brings in.
C'est juste que Jean-Luc Mélenchon vient de me raid. Merci beaucoup Jean-Luc, c'est gentil.
Ah, formidable.
What the fuck, sérieux?
Zerger's been around on Twitch for a long time, and watching him grow has been really cool. Yeah, and the recent charity event where they raised, I think, 5.7 million euro. Biggest event ever. So apparently the French people are the most charitable ever. That's really exciting, especially a long-time Twitch streamer do something so big.
Bravo, Gérard.